Happy to have you. Those of you joining us on the GBN Television Facebook page, Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, GBN Channel 7, 11, and 20, Hot 98, and Classic 105. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Open Line Monday today. What we want to hear are some of the concerns, questions, queries. Although we had some of them on Good Morning Grenada, we're going to field as many as we can this morning. So call us 435-2041 if you have anything that you want to say or ask. You can also pose your questions, queries, comments, concerns on the GBN Television Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, or on the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp, it's also 435-2041. But please do not voice or video call the WhatsApp. We can't take those calls, only typed messages, and I will try my best to answer as many as I can this morning. Let's take our first phone call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. A lot of us seem not to be within particular we are leading, but some seems to not to be good leaders. I'm not talking about the Prime Minister, as for example he's making good effort, but those who seem to be under him are not doing the right thing. For example, just imagine you having one gas station opened for the whole, well, let's say for the past few weeks or a week. I would have thought it is best to rotate the gas stations. So in other words, maybe whoever is doing it is putting money in one man's hand. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, the rich like the rich, and the poor like the rich. So even the shops, imagine you having certain big shops opening. So who are you catering for? In other words, I'm not saying not the Prime Minister to blame. It's those who he put in charge. In fact, some of us are making up papers in connection with certain things. I wouldn't mention what. And some of the papers are not made up in the right way to give people certain permission. Why is it that they have to come and take back their words? We have to think before we write, or we have to think before we put out certain notices. And this is what is happening in Grenada. The leaders, we have square pegs in wrong hole, or wrong peg in square holes. And this is why we have our problem. Look at them farmers. Let's say you don't have money. If you know, they lock you down. You're not working. I'm not saying they're not right to lock us down, But how are you going to get things? In fact, I heard this morning you said you could lend money. Yes, suppose the people who are custom lending money and they're living on a day-to-day basis. How would they be able to think? A lot of things would happen in Grenada and you'll be surprised what would be happening. In fact, they're giving certain people a certain time to go into the land. What does that mean? And people could trace you? What do you expect? Do you expect more people in the prison after the next few months? Or they'll just let them go when they commit offenses? You have to be very careful. The farmers should give any time to go into the land.
Okay.
Especially in the day.
All right.
So something is wrong with us.
Thank you very much, caller. The gas station, there's not only one gas station that is opened. There's a gas station opened in Victoria this morning. Last week they announced that one in St. Patrick will also be open. So there are at least 3 gas stations open on the island. They are specifically to facilitate essential workers. So there's no need to open each and every one of them. As it relates to farmer, they have extended the hours for farmers to go to their farms. During the initial stages of the regulations, there was no provisions. Then they amended it to 8 to 12, and it was announced over the weekend it has been further amended to facilitate farmers going to their farms from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. So provisions are being made as we go along. It's a learning process for the authorities, and upon request, reasonable request, they make adjustments to see as they see fit. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, my concern is really about the households that are infected with COVID-19. In the release that the superintendent would have done, he said that they are urged to stay at home. I just want to know what measures are being put in place to ensure they stay at home right now, because they would need supplies as well. So how is it? How are they getting that? What measures are being put in place?
Thank you very much, caller. That's a good observation. As I am aware, those individuals who have been advised to self-isolate, including the confirmed positive cases, I know the ministry was doing what they could to facilitate what they need. That's as far as I know. If I'm wrong, somebody could correct me, but I understand there have been efforts made to facilitate them with the groceries that they may need, meals, I believe, at some point. So that I am assuming would continue to ensure that they have no reason to leave home, and they can stay home and get what they need to. In terms of ensuring they stay home, measures have been put in place to keep in contact with them. Last week, the minister mentioned putting them, the possibility, I believe, of putting them into mandatory quarantine. I am not sure the final decision as it relates to that. But for now, I believe they're at home, and the ministry are taking measures to ensure that they stay there, I think. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just turn the volume down on your radio or your television, please.
What are essential workers? What are their commanders? Because in the gas station, you see not private vehicle, you see vehicle that jogging staff, the vehicle that's working for the hospital, wherever, taking gas, and a lot of private vehicle is behind in the same line. So I don't understand what essential vehicle.
Okay. Thank you very much, caller. There are a few people that have been deemed essential workers, members of the RGPF, health officials, members of the media, and a lot of others that security officers, airport staff, port staff that I can't remember off the top of my head. What I know they've been doing is that if there are people in the line, there are essential workers who use their private vehicles to get to and from work. There are essential workers who use what they call staff bus to get to and from work. What I know they've been doing at the gas station is the RGPF has been checking on vehicles to see who is driving. And if you do not have the requisite documentation to show that you're an essential worker, they make you get out the line and go home, basically. So if you're not an essential worker and you're in the line, I know the RGPF officers have been telling them to get out the line, and they can't refuel. There's a long list of essential workers. I would have to dive through to look for each and every one of them. But those are people who need to be out at this point to keep law and order, basically. Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm trying to know if you have any pharmacy open.
Thank you very much. I believe pharmacies should be open. They were part of the businesses that were made provisions for in the regulations to be open from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. As it relates to the extended shopping hours, I believe that's only for food places, grocery stores and shops. So pharmacies, I believe, should be open from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. this morning, in keeping with the regulations released or updated last week. All right. Good morning.
Hi, Blossom. Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying.
Child, I'm trying my best as well.
Nice.
I'm trying to find out the senior citizens that in their house, well, more or less alone, although they're senior, but, you know, they haven't got children here and people doing for them. What is going to be their position? They're not supposed to get out. They ask them to stay in. Who is going to help these people? I'm wondering the senior citizens. I am talking about people past the 80s going down the road. You know, sometimes you could help, but you, being a senior citizen yourself, you could help as much as. Who you calling? Tell me, please.
Thank you very much, caller. I believe the Ministry of Social Development, or should I say the Desk of the Elderly and the Ministry of Social Development, they have programs in place that cater to our elderly, whether it's provision of financial or otherwise. There have also been advice circulating from health officials, members of the public, to check on our elderly. Not many of them, like you said, have the support of people who can go get what they need. So if you know there's an elderly person in your community, you reach out a hand, whether they have the assistance from government or not. Reach out, get in contact with them. A lot of times we sit and we wonder, well, who's going to help? Let's see, Papa Joe? Who's going to help Papa Joe? And we don't help ourselves. So sometimes we could reach out a hand. It does not have to be an everyday thing, but just a little checkup and see how we can help the members of our elderly. And not just wait on officials. Don't just wait on the government. Don't just wait on the seed program or whatever other program they may be under. Let's do our part as well. Even if we call and they say, no, we okay, at least we reached out. All right. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I'm calling to find out how we go about getting cooking gas, because most of the gas stations around the area, for example, West Hall, and even the small shops do not have cooking gas. In my case, whereas if the gas finish, how do I get cooking gas?
Thank you very much. I am not too certain. I know there were efforts made. Well, first of all, there was a backlog of requests for cooking gas from individual homes as well as organizations who sell them. I recall that there was a delivery made Friday, Thursday, sometime last week or the other, to some of the gas stations. I am not sure what arrangement is made if your community where you're told to stay does not have the cooking gas. Maybe if you get to a border, if you want to cross from St. Mark to St. John to see if you get to the St. John gas station, just speak with the police officers. Let me see how I could put this. Some of them are not beasts, and some of them are understanding. So let's hope for the best. If there's an issue where you get to the border and you cannot cross, I don't know, maybe try a different avenue, whether it's to call police headquarters or speak. No, when you get to the border, there should be a senior officer on the border. Speak to that and maybe try to let them know your situation, that you need cooking gas. And then something could work out if there isn't gas in your area. Yeah. Let's go back. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
If I go back to the farmers, now just imagine, if you give people a particular time to visit perhaps the farm or to visit the shop, now do you know that you are exposing them to a lot of irregularities? I would say, I wouldn't mention what. So once you put a certain time, do you think that people could time them? Use the word time, underline the thing. Certain people should be given, once they give them permission, they should give them maybe to return at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Well, you can't give certain people as they give in from 6 to 12. How many hours work they go do in the land? If there are 10 cattle, maybe bull cow or heifer, I don't know what you say. So how would they feel see after them? And the donkeys and the goat, in fact, they start thieving animals already. They start thieving animals in the country. When I say in the country, they start thieving animals already because the opening way for people to know when you will be there and when you will not be there.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. The point of the regulations is to keep people home. There are provisions made in the regulations to facilitate some of the things that need to be done. While I believe the authorities know the situation with farmers that may need to be in their farms at 12 hours out of a day, under this new dispensation, we cannot just allow vai and stay in the farm 12 hours if you want or if you need to. The point, we're giving you, quote unquote, a bly. Do what you can in those 6 hours and go back home and batten down to ensure you continue to stay COVID-free. We have to understand that these regulations are not in place to cause problems and put drama and to make you feel like you're not worth what you're doing. It's to protect us. So, I mean, it's just for a short time. This won't be forever. And pretty larceny has been around when farmers have been in their farms for 12 hours, sometimes 24 hours a day maybe. So we just need to, and just respect people's farms. If it's not yours, just leave the people fruits and the animals alone. We need to adapt. It's for a short time. Let's adapt. This is not forever. But then again, the length of the lockdown depends on us. So let me just adapt for the short time that we're being asked to do that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Am I on GBN?
Yes, you are. Go ahead, please.
The lady was just talking about the gas, but I've seen 2 gas trucks pass up recently.
Which side is that? Which area?
West Hall.
West Hall. So they're going up St. David side?
Yes.
Okay.
The Rubis has passed, and the one with the Venezuelan gases has passed.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You see? Thing working out. So if breakfast isn't cooked yet, the gas trucks are on their way. We are all working on the restrictions, and I think everything would be delayed as can be expected. But everything goes sort out and work out in due course. Good morning.
Good morning. I am an elderly and I need medication. Okay, I used to get it from the dispensary. So I want to know if the government dispensary are opening that I could get my medication, please.
At the hospital?
No. I usually get it for the health center in Song and the dispensary down there.
Have you tried calling them?
No. I haven't tried, but I need to know because I am shorting. I have a medicated leg and I want to know how I get my medication because I need them.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You see? You're calling me. You could have called the health center. Like they've been saying, medical facilities are opened. They are needed. They are deemed as essential services and essential workers. So medical facilities, health centers, community health centers are opened while offering limited services. However, to see what you can acquire from these services, you can call them. I won't know specifically if the specific medication that you're looking for is available at the dispensary. So just like you called me this morning, you can call the health center. Make a call and find out what is what, as we say local parlance. Just call and say, good morning, what is what? You understand what I'm saying? All right, there we go. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have an observation and then I want to make a comment quickly, right? I know the farmers of Grenada, they're very important people. They're very, very important people. But I think that they're requesting a lot. We all are in a vulnerable state at this moment. All of us are exposed. Anything can happen anytime, right? And just as the farmers have things at stake in their garden and people could time them and all this sort of thing, we understand that. But many of us have a lot of businesses out there too, and it's the same thing that's happening. And you can go one morning or the day you're allowed to go out and you could realize that your whole place is looted out. So people have to, it's a give and take situation. At this time that things that are happening now, it's not normal times. And we have to bear. We cannot request too much. We cannot make too much demands. We have to understand as intelligent people. That's my comment.
Thank you very much, Miss, and I agree with you. If everybody was to make a request and want their request met, then we'll just end up in more chaos than, I guess, what we have on the roads this morning. So we just need to adapt and understand what is taking place and why it is taking place. That's all. We just need to, walk to suit. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Citizen Welsh. Greetings.
Morning, Citizen Welsh.
I intervene here because I'm tired of hearing stupid comments from certain people of this here country. But the last caller there was rather clear in her contribution. If we establish regulations to control a situation of life and death, people do not understand that this virus is killing people in masses around the world. We have the opportunity to hold out for a little while, but they want us to modify the regulations and modify it to the convenience of every individual. No, we can't. If you do, you shall be defeating the purpose of the regulations. Our aim is to save lives. Why don't we understand that? If they say, well, let's say the authority says that the farmer shall have 6 to 12, that's what it shall be. Do it 6 to 12 to 6 to 6, and then you're opening them and other people to danger. We have to modify certain things. For instance, we have to guarantee that the people eat and there is food available and their delivery of other things, which takes me on to the aspect of a man calling in there who is who lives alone apparently is a person with a disability in this here country. He needs medication and he cannot get it. You see, Citizen Welch, I'll tell you what has happened to us in this here country, as I round up, is just an act of uncovering the deficiencies that occur daily in the running of this here country. Now, this man needs his medication, and there are many. I refer to people who in this here country, Citizen Welch, die as a result of their inability to get medical attention. They die, and the report is there. Now, what are we doing? Where are the people responsible for looking after those who cannot? The deficiencies have to be corrected. These are the things we have to look at to correct, but we cannot modify the regulations which in the way to suit and the style of every individual. No, let me tell you this as I say. Extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and that is what we have to do. But I want the state, the so-called state of Grenada, to understand that they shall be held responsible for the lives of the people with disabilities and the elderly people of this here country who die or perish in this exercise. They shall be held responsible because it's a duty to guarantee that these people have medical attention and food through systems of the state. Let us just trust that all works out well, Citizen Welch, because I'll tell you after this, there'll be a lot to talk about. Do have a nice day, will you?
Thank you very much, Citizen Rollo, and well said indeed. Extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures. That's what we need to keep in mind. It's for a shot. Let's adapt for a shot. Let me address some of the comments on social media before I take a break and go back to the phone lines. Let me see. Good morning. I need my box from the post office. It's in there. Okay. Okay. What about people who have children on the other side of the roadblock? If your child or children were not living with you prior to the lockdown, I'm sure there were ways that you were getting in touch, whether it's by phone or video call, that can be facilitated. If they're on the other side of the roadblock when the lockdown took place, I don't know. Call them. WhatsApp video comes in very handy for people who are miles away. Good morning to you. My son is for himself and I am baking. How do I get this stuff? And I'm breaking down. Trying to decipher how do I get stuff for him. I am not sure what to tell you. Good morning. Just want to know how we, the non-essential workers, get gas for transport to get around today to do the shopping. To be honest with you, I suggest calling. Then again, no. I was going to say call the gas stations to verify if they're giving gas to non-essential workers, but I don't think so. I think they specified, Superintendent Cohen specified this morning it's open only for essential workers. Then I am not sure. You see, that was what was facilitated before the lockdown, to fill up your tanks. That was last week, Monday. If you're a non-essential worker, that means you shouldn't have been driving for the last week, so you should still have gas. They gave us a chance to fill up. I did that. My tank is on 3/4, so I am good to went for a little time again. That was part of the reasons why they gave us 24-hour notice that the impending lockdown was taking place. So we needed to do what we need to do. So if it didn't fill up then I'm not sure. What's the use of buying groceries if no cooking gas is selling? Cooking gas are selling, like the lady just called and said delivery trucks are going around the island today to facilitate restocking. So let's hope for the best. That's one of the reasons why we all need an extra cylinder at our homes for incidences like this. Gas has a funny way of timing a Sunday or a public holiday. So it's always good to have an extra gas on hand. So let's remember that for future. You may not have the, $45? Not 45 because you had to pay for the cylinder. You may not have, let's say, roughly $100 today, but next month then just make the sacrifice and buy an extra cylinder. Good morning. I want to talk about something important. I am a worker of CCC, the company that is doing the road in Hermitage St. Patrick. I am home a month now. The 7 months I work there, they have been taking money for my pay for NIS, but it was not being paid. We went to find out, and all NIS is saying is it is not paid. So if NIS have to give us some money, what happened to us? Imagine NIS never look into that. I want to know if NIS have share in that company. Please talk about it for me, please. This is a concern or a situation that I have heard about, not necessarily for this project, but companies taking NIS payments but not giving the contribution to NIS. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember the process to raise that concern with the authorities. My first thought usually is go by the police. I am not sure if a formal complaint will need to be filed with NIS, with the company, with the RGPF. To be honest, I am not sure. What I could advise, however, is that NIS has a social media presence. They have Facebook page. Yes, they have a Facebook page. You can, I'm trying to remember if they have a website. Just log on to their pages and look for what they say about situations like this. They've been putting up different advisories about processes that need to take place on different situations. So just look through their information. You should be able to find, I believe I saw something there as it relates to contributions that are taken but not paid to NIS, and they would better be able to help you with the process that needs to happen to get compensation. What happened with the police press conference this morning? All right, we got word that the press conference was cancelled. That's the short of the story. Good morning. I wish to commend a hearty job to the Ministry of Health on a job well done on keeping COVID-19 under control. Please, Grenadians, let's try to follow all the guidelines stated to bring it to zero. Amen. Let's do our own part to be COVID-19 smart. We can't just depend on government to do what needs to be done, and then we're not doing our part. One hand can't clap. What's the situation with daily paid workers being home for 2 weeks? If you're a daily paid worker and you're home, then you don't get paid. Simple as that. I tired give advice for free. What need to happen to this? All person that is positive or potential cases, put them in specific areas with immediate effect, give people enough time to shop. I mean enough. Then total lockdown for a week, then the country will start moving again. If you are a chicken or goat farmer, would you mix the sick ones with the healthy ones? Lord, we need to think. Hi, are the supply trucks considered an essential service and therefore entitled to purchase gas today? I believe so, because they are providing the cooking gas, which is an essential product. So they would be able to fill up. I can feel your frustration. Like the Bible says, what can do with this stiff neck? People keep trying, but I'm trying my best. Patience is key. Good morning. I done this thing prolonging because it seems COVID take over some people's heads. Simple things people don't understand. It is only for a while. Yes, it's only for a while. It depends on us how long it lasts. But everybody just... Lord, morning, not everyone has to fill up or even half their tank. Finance? Okay. Not everyone has to fill up. Yeah, not everybody has to. If you have a quarter tank, make it do. First of all, it shouldn't be going far, because if you're in St. Patrick, you shouldn't have to come to town to shop. There's supermarkets and shops up there. So even if you have to move from Sates to my next place in St. Patrick, Sates to Marais, not too far. You shouldn't need a lot of gas by this. So, hold on, phone lines. Hold on. Trying to tackle everybody. Okay, I think I answered that one already. Necessity is a mother of invention. World crisis. Good morning. I'm listening in the comments. I understand we are in an emergent situation to which regulations are our guidelines. However, provisions are made to ease the citizens' problems, but the users of the 100-pound gas cylinder, I hope, will be considered for delivery during this period. Let us hope for the best for those of you who use the 100-pound cylinder. Morning. After health workers, farmers are the second most important people on the island. No food, starvation will do more damage. If measures were put in place for these important section of the population, people won't be complaining. The whole situation was mismanaged. Questions have to be answered. Provisions are made. 6 hours is a lot of time. It's not what you're used to, but just adapt. They've made provisions for if you need assistance on your farm that you can get permission for one other person. That could help lift up the thing a little bit. Let's just adapt for a little while. Let me share with you that yesterday was revealed that a sick worker passed COVID-19 to a tiger at a national zoo in the U.S. So we can pass on the virus to the same animals that we are trying to care for. The whole point is to keep us safe, not to keep us struggling. Let me just adapt. Let me fix up the thing and do what we need to do now, man. Let's take a quick break and come back inside. I'll get back to the comments on Facebook and then back to the phones. This is Open Line on To The Point, trying to answer as many questions as I can this morning. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
The Grenada Food and Nutrition Council remind you to boost your immune system and give yourself a fighting chance against COVID-19. Consume foods that are rich in vitamin C, like fruits and vegetables. For example, oranges, grapefruit, mandarin, lemon, spinach, cabbage, and tomatoes. Vitamin B6 and folic acid that is found in chicken, turkey, fish, grain foods like oats, bread, local provisions, dry beans, and peas. Another immune system booster is vitamin E, found in nuts, corn, sunflower or canola oils, and leafy vegetables like spinach, broccoli, and kale. Iron, zinc, and vitamin D are also important to strengthen your immunity. So try foods like lean meats, eggs, lentils, mackerel, tuna, and jacks. Our local spices, ginger, clove, and turmeric, among others, can help decrease inflammation and support the immune system. Remember to practice safe food handling. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, reminding you that a strong immune system is one of the best ways to fight COVID-19.
As part of our social media revamp, the GBN is committed on providing accurate information by just one click through our social media platforms. You can now follow our Facebook page at GBN Television, together with our sister stations Classic FM Grenada and Hot FM Grenada. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Grenada Broadcasting Network. They say one picture is worth 1,000 words. Now you have the opportunity to follow us on Instagram at GBN_news and our newly added WhatsApp feature to our news and current affairs department on telephone number 473-405-3052. GBN, with you, anywhere, everywhere.
Welcome back to The Point. Open the lines to hear your questions, queries, comments, concerns, and see if I can address them as best as I can. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
And how are you coping?
I'm trying my very best. How are you?
Okay, darling, I'm fine.
What's your question or comment?
No, I just want to find out, please, if when Western Union go open, I have money to collect, and then money, I want to get the money.
Thank you very much. I like that. I have money to collect. I am not too certain. Somebody has asked me that on WhatsApp as well. I am not certain if or what time Western Union will open. I've only heard so far about MoneyGram. So if there's anyone who knows if Western Union is opening today, please let me know on the WhatsApp 4352041 so I can share with our viewers and listeners for the people who have money to collect, as the caller puts it. I like it. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Ms. Wells. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's just a comment. I just find it very strange that we have to plead with the nation to save their lives. Like, it's very, 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 very strange. The measures in place are not for individual. It's for humanity. I mean, just look at it that way. It's very strange. I feel it for the people in charge right now. For the people who are doing their best, keep doing it. Enjoy your day.
Thank you very much, caller. I feel you. I really feel you, and I can hear it in your voice too. I'm feeling you because I firmly believe there are people who are not taking this as serious as they should. I don't know if they believe earlier comments that COVID does not affect black people or that it can survive in the Caribbean, or they see the U.S. and so battling 200 and something thousand cases and thinking Grenada only has 12, so we're good. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it would take death to wake them up, But let me advise that there have been Grenadians who have passed away because of COVID-19 abroad, not here in Grenada, abroad. They are black just like me and you, have the spice blood just like me and you, 473 born just like me and you, and they have fallen victim to the virus. They have been clocked as a fatality. So it has, I repeat, it's no respecter of person, no respecter of age, sex, religion, educational background. It doesn't care. Once COVID realized it could cut and go through, it cut in and go through. There's a 6-week-old baby that passed away over the weekend, an 18-year-old young man in the UK, a 23-year-old fitness instructor who was physically healthy, and COVID decide, okay, you're living too long on the people's earth. It does not care. Once it gets a blight, it cut in and go through. I don't know what Grenadians need to hear again. The regulations are in place for a reason, to keep you and I safe. COVID is not just a sickness, it's a matter of life and death. Maybe it's death some of you are waiting on to take it seriously. I don't know. Let me go to the Facebook. Good morning. Once again, the people of Carriacou and PG Martinique, when the goods get there by 3 p.m. with a procedure that has to take place before the goods get on the shelves, what time they have to shop today? I think the goods should be there between Saturday and Sunday, ready for the Monday shopping. There was an advisory this morning of one of the ships, I think was MV Amelia, taking cargo up to the Sister Isles this morning. Carriacou and PG Martinique kind of have their own, I don't want to say governance, but their own, not regulations either, but their own way of doing things as it relates to now. They've locked off from the mainland to ensure that the virus does not show up on the Sister Isles. Just last week, the MP for the constituency, Carriacou PG Martinique, Miss Kendra Mathurin-Stewart, she addressed some of the concerns of Carriacouians. So it is possible that provisions would be put in place for folks on the Sister Isle to shop because they know what it is when the goods get up there later today. I think the ship was scheduled to leave, I think it was 9. So I think they are aware of what it would take. So it's possible. What you can do is probably reach out to your MP or somebody and let them know, okay, the goods just pack on the shelves and we need to shop. Give us a little blight. And maybe something could work out. So let's wait to see. Let me not say all your suffering. Let me hold on. Call the government, get help for the police. Find out how you can access cash from accounts if you do not have a telecard. If you do not have a telecard, then you cannot get access to your money. Simple as that. Grenville Credit Union is the only financial institution that I'm aware will be open today because they do not have ATMs. Over the past few years, our financial institutions have encouraged, insisted, pushed, done promotions and so for us to get telecards because I know they know that anything can happen where the banks may not be open. Just like if you need a cash on Saturday and the banks are closed and we make do, then if you have a telecard, it can function. So that's one of the reasons why they've been pushing for years to get telecards, because you never know what would happen. So if you don't have a telecard and you can access your cash, if you do not heed the 24-hour heads up to stock up on a few dollars if you had it, then I am not sure what could be done for you at this point, because the banks would remain closed as long as limited state of emergency and lockdown are in effect. Phone lines. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning.
Morning.
This is Corporal Hutchinson from Goab Fire Department.
Good morning, Corporal.
And my problem here is that we have persons who actually take any time to light fires, especially in bamboo stools. 3 o'clock this morning, I had to be heading to a place like industry to deal with bamboo stool fire way across a river. You know, it have curfew in effect, and these fires, as some folks will be saying, are not no sulfur, nothing there, and no spontaneous ignition from anything. So I'm asking persons, please, through this medium, to desist from these practices. I mean, it's not land that's been cleared. Like, when people clearing land, so you could see there was clearing land and they started burning and it go out of hand or something like this stuff. It's just, to me, deliberate act, and I'm talking about 2 within this weekend alone. So I just choose the opportunity here to use this medium to really let folks know that it's not business as usual, and at the same time, we still ask you to avoid giving the department unnecessary work to go out there and deal with this type of fires, because if we out there dealing with them type of fire and your house is on fire with limited resources, you know what time it is. Right? So I want to thank you, and I want to urge everyone to stay safe, take all the precautionary measures, because as they say, COVID-19 is real. Treat everybody like if they have it. That's the only way you're going to stay far from it. Maintain your safe distancing. Thank you very much, and you have a great day. Keep on doing a great job in terms of educating, sensitizing the nation.
Thank you very much, Corporal. Corporal, hear the piece of dialect. Big up your whole self. Thank you very much, Corporal. I appreciate you phoning in this morning with this advisory and this warning. It is a concern that I have received as well via the WhatsApp and the telephone platforms of people lighting fires, especially in a time where we're dealing with respiratory issues. Just not even over the weekend, but for the week last week and over the weekend in my area, Mount Hartman, I was dealing with smoke that I felt like I was suffocating because I have sinus issues and allergies, so it's problems in the dance. So I appreciate it, and it's a reminder for us that we shouldn't be lighting fires. One, we're in the dry season, and two, we are under coconeous times. You all know I like my word. And like he pointed out, while I'm dealing with a deliberately set fire in the bush and a house is on fire, is more problems, and then y'all want to still blame the same firefighters if something drastic happens to the house that was burning because they were dealing with something else. We need to use the upstairs, the cabeza. Sometimes somebody is calling the WhatsApp. We cannot take calls on the WhatsApp, only typed messages. I see you've also sent a typed message. I will get to it shortly, but please stop calling the WhatsApp. Let me go back by the Facebook. There were some comments that I needed to read. When is MoneyGram open? MoneyGram is opening at 10 a.m. at Foodland, I believe it is. So that's that. Let me go back by the phone lines while I scour it. Okay, lost that caller. 435-2041. I almost forgot the number. Good morning.
Morning, greetings, Blossom.
Morning.
Well, tension getting hotter, is that?
I'm fine.
You're fine, so? Well, at least, as you said already, no man can save his brother's soul. But, a lot of things that happen in life is not because some God wants us to dead. Death is our process. It's just man that wants us to make us uncomfortable. Man, with the dirty ways, want to make us uncomfortable. And that's the reason why the chaos that you see going on is taking place. We don't need no kind of chemical thing to really live by, For instance, look, if we go to look in the sea, we go talk about oil, and we go talk about green gas, or carbon dioxide, and this and the other. Ozone layer getting mashed up and all kind of stuff. Man create the thing. The creators and them create everything perfect for us. Everything. Just like the sea there, the rivers, the trees, everything perfect, like the sunrise this morning and set. But man, even he make us perfect too. But we believe in imperfection, so that's where the problem comes. That's why man do so much of chaotic stupidness without even thinking. After they do, they think after. But I learned that many of the times, think before you talk and look before you leap. That could help us a lot. But no man cannot save his brother's soul. Death is an inevitable thing. We have to protect our mind because these people dealing with their mind. They only wait all the time think poor people catching the hell. They can't even get food to eat. You know what I'm saying? Them puppies and them that call themselves superpowers and call themselves some hyper-Luton. Having their breakfast nice and easy. Today they're uneasy because they don't even know if the food they're eating on have corona in it. But the poor people, we are accustomed living from the garbage side, like the vagrants. That's how they have us, and that's how they thought they want the world to run. And they sit up and play up highty-tighty, and we don't hear like little stupidity. But the creators have a way of walking, and I don't say already. On the earth now is we ancestors walking. Because as it said, we don't have to fight no war. They will fight it for us. Because they are the ones who they climb up on top of the head and take out the head and take out the private parts and do all kind of stuff. Today, when the rain started to fall, you don't fall on one man house top. You know? When you said the guillotine out, he coming back. The boomerang, he coming back. So don't think when people do filthiness in this world, and today they call in what? Peace. Everybody come together, but yet we can't come together because we have to stay how much? 6 feet apart or 4 feet apart. But they're saying, come together, come together. When we should be together, that would avoid this contamination that they send out in the world.
Okay.
You see, they try one, not preparing for the other one. Today, they can't stop it, and all of them living in fear, and they don't know what to tell us.
Okay.
But I'm saying to us, my sister, don't give up your mind, because that's what they want.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. Let me go back to the social media. Grenada tackle wrong. We were not prepared. You need to isolate persons who are positive with the virus in a public government facility. If the government does not have a facility specifically for COVID-19, then they need to convert a public facility to cater for them, because if you just test them positive and allow them to go home, it will actually increase the spread, since they will most likely pass the virus to their communities, which would be worst case scenario, leads to community outbreak members. There are government facilities for but for government or mandatory, that's it, for mandatory isolation. Government has retrofitted at least one building to accommodate that. And I think that was one of the things they were trying to avoid, having to lock down people. But if that's what it takes, they are prepared. To be honest, I am not sure if they've put any of our patients in mandatory isolation or quarantine. I would have to double check that piece of information, but there are measures put in place for government facilities. Grenada is a small island and will not be able to handle this crisis if it gets out of hand. Parties, alcohol, all these things will be there waiting for you. But if you die, you will miss out. That will be a shame. Bottom line, stay at home from your head to your tippy toes. I would like to know if I can do online shopping whereby I can make my order and pick up during the hours weight or measurements that you would need. And there is one major supermarket that facilitates online shopping as well. They've always had that service even prior to COVID. So if you don't want to get into the very long lines, places who handle is closed, question how would they be able to purchase? MoneyGram is open today. Thought today was the last day of the 24-hour lockdown. Oh, nobody and saying none on that. Today it should be the last day of the 24-hour lockdown. I believe a statement should be forthcoming from the authorities, whether it's the Minister of Health or Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, about if it ends today or if it would be extended. So we await that. It is only 10 a.m. so far. It should end, is it 6 or 7 tonight? So hopefully the address would come by then. Not hopefully, it should come by then to let us know what is taking place. Just remember, Blossom, say look out for the lockdown. Stupidity you see happens, I would talking about lockdown. Okay. The people who put in this curfew, they already stocked up themselves, so it's the normal people that are struggling to keep it up. It doesn't matter who has to struggle, just do what you have to do. That's the problem. People need help. Well, I said I agree, Mr. Well said, I agree with Mr. Olo. Are barrels allowed to be cleared on the dock? I am not certain. I know the ports are still open. I believe Port Authority is still functioning, but as it relates to clearing barrels and so, I am not certain. You may have to call the port yourself to verify. I'm wondering how many folks have the money to fill up. If you have it, fill up. If you don't, make do. It's not everyone can afford an extra cylinder. Make the sacrifice month end. We make sacrifices for various things at various points. It's up to you if you'd like to make that sacrifice to get the cylinder. If not, then when it's when the one that you have is finished, then you may be fighting to refill it like many people are doing during the lockdown. It's a sacrifice. Up to you if you want to make the sacrifice. Okay, let me go back by the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
What I want to say is I love you. You great old people like me, Coconius times are here. But every time I say it, I laugh because my children just tell me I great old people and I ain't dropping it at all. Because when we look at what was happening in China and the other countries, if every Guinean had prepared ourselves, you would not have been hearing all these comments about money and shopping and things. Because what I see we need to focus on right now is on our life. Little what we have, you are there?
I'm here.
Little what we have, we make it do. They complain how much they had to eat and things. In 1979, when the revolution, we didn't get notice. So those people that was there at that time, we know what went on. And this is not a thing like when they started, I call and comment about everybody in China, well, we need to think about ourselves. Everybody need to think about themselves. Is one life we have. And what we need to do is to focus on God right now. And what we have, make it do. We share to our neighbors. I'm a shut-in. I'm 70 and I'm shut-in. And when I was listening every day on GBN days, and I hear what's going on in China, I call my son. I said, come on, let's get to that. I said, don't wait, but get things in place. And he did that. So I don't have a little bit of sugar, a little bit of everything, and I make it to do. And yet still, we could still share with a neighbor. You could give a neighbor a chicken a fig. They give you two this in what they have. And we live in love and prepare and repent for the master and stop making all these comments about the government and money and this. Because if the thing take here and you die, Miss Blossom, you know about money? You don't know about money going? So we need to check on ourselves now and leave all these things behind, and make what we get do. We want too much and commenting the government and saying all kind of thing, but we need to focus on Jesus right about now. Bye.
Thank you very much. Well said, Miss, and continue watching and listening. Appreciate it as always. Well said. Make do. That's a saying I heard. I think it was either mommy or grandma. Make do. Let me see. All right, there was a question on Facebook. There was somebody asking me about barriers. Where did the comment go? Comment work with me. There we go. I saw a Facebook post that some areas of St. Andrew are restricted. La Digue, La Poterie, Maribor, Pearls, and Telescope. Can you confirm that for me, please? Since I didn't hear it from the main source, I don't know if they did announce so and someone posted on Facebook. I'd like to know, please. I have not heard it myself. What I can say is that the RGPF have set up various roadblocks to ensure that people are not moving from one area to another unnecessarily, not just through parish. I met from leaving home after 5 this morning. I met one at Sugar Mill. I met at Lagoon Road as well as Top Tantine. So I met 3 on my way up to GBN this morning from Grand Anse, and it's just to ensure that you have a reason to be going where you're going. It's not a roadblock to say if you reach, you'll have to turn back. You just speak with the officer. He makes sure that you have a legitimate business for going from one area to the next, and you should be able to go through. The only barriers are parish boundaries, as far as I am aware. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Let me go back by WhatsApp. WhatsApp has a lot. Phones, hold on, Ollie. 4 minutes. Where is the supermarket, pharmacy, bank in St. Mark's? Adapt empty words that just sound like the government empty. I saw a comment, I wonder if it's the same person asking about these things, these establishments in St. Mark. I am not sure. I guess this is a concern you'll have to take up with your MP. Yes, that's it. Oh, there's the next question. Ask the MP where are the pharmacies in St. Mark. You would have to take it up with your MP to ensure that one of those businesses are set up. So question, I guess, for the St. Mark residents, since you do not have these facilities, maybe you just have community shops and not necessarily a supermarket, pharmacy in St. Mark. Are you allowed to go St. John, possibly, to get what you need to get? I'm just asking. I know they said only St. David are allowed to leave their parish. I'm just inquiring what takes place in St. Mark if you do not have these facilities that you would need. Morning, will MoneyGram and Grenville branch be opening today? I am not sure. You can maybe try calling. I would like to know if the manager and RBTT are going to put cash in the ATM, please. You see, sometimes y'all ask questions and I wouldn't know. This is a question for RBTT, not Blossom. I don't know the plans of putting the cash in the ATMs. I do not work at these facilities. Maybe if you know a friend who knows a friend, or check them out on their Facebook page if they've put up a notice, or I am not sure about the intricate details and runnings of these establishments. I am aware that the virus is out, but the farmer is going to bush, not among people. A farmer should be viewed as an essential worker. Food is not coming in, so what is on the ground? Yes, but to get to your farm, where you have to pass not on the road by people, and it's not just about where you're going and what you're going to do, but it's where you're passing to get to where you're going. That is the concern. Good morning. I think the process has been built to safeguard everyone in society, and it's going 2 weeks now. The system is in place. My point is people need to adjust to life. Amen. Adjust to life. It's just for a short. Certain people just don't care. Talking goes through one ear and out the other. There is one here in my village who has not let one day pass without staying home. You see, there are people who are not adhering to the regulations, and they're going to be the ones to spread it. Contact tracing continues. Tests continue, or samples continue to be taken from people. You never know who have it and who doesn't have it. As the corporal said that called earlier, treat everybody like they have the virus. Stay far from all man jack. Mommy lives upstairs, I live downstairs. I don't know last day I go in she place. Short of the story. That's how it should be, because you never know. You just never know. I'm not saying mommy has a virus, I'm just saying it's the measures that we need to take. We've been video calling. She's upstairs, I'm downstairs. I could hear her through the window. But to see her face, a video call. That's what the thing should be. My question is, why is it that companies are choosing to deduct holidays from your vacation in a time like this? I would not know that either. That's for the companies to verify why they're doing that. Please, could you tell me where we can get masks to buy? Check social media. There are a number of tailors and seamstresses that have. There is one in St. Andrew Telescope, I believe. There's one in Tempe. Just look on social media. People have been sharing these posts that you can get these $10 masks to protect yourself. Good morning. Would MoneyGram in Grenville be open? Western Union be open? I'm not sure about Western Union. MoneyGram, I'm not sure. Make a phone call. Big up K105, big up your whole self. Do you take questions from YouTube contributors? Oh, yes, Lord. And I saw one on YouTube, Mr. Steele. Hold on. I think Grenadians not taking the COVID-19 virus seriously, maybe because there's no death, God forbid, in the hospital in NYC at work. When you heard code 99 is another dead body, or 2 in every 15 minutes. Yes, that's true. There is nothing called COVID. It is a 5G radiation emissions at dangerous levels. If that's your belief, so be it. There have been articles, just as you've read that information, Bunji, read that information that COVID is really 5G. There are articles that dispute those claims, so you can read them as well, including from the BBC. You can read them and compare notes and see if you really truly believe it's 5G. I do not believe it's 5G. Poor 5G. Good morning. I'm located in Guelph and all the small shops are empty. I spoke to the shopkeepers and they are saying the trucks to restock have not reached up to the area since last week. Let's hope for the best. Remember, they only have a certain time to restock shelves, so let's hope for the best. Yes, Master Controller, coming just now. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Please, lockdown is lockdown. Our lives are at stake. I agree. Lockdown is lockdown. We should be gracious that we got every other day to shop, but hold on, drastic times, like the caller says, Coconius times are ahead. You just wait. And I'm sure everybody would not have a reason to leave home in it, but they get a little blind and they feel, okay, we're taking the blind. Come on, people, Blossom won't be able to answer these questions. Yes, they're asking me kind of questions and I won't know. Hold on, Master Control, hold on. Timmy, leave me alone. Do you take questions? Oh, sorry, I did the one already. Hold on, I'm running through them. Good morning, great program. Is it possible? Can you tell me when Farm and Garden will be open? I need food for my animals. Thanks much. I do not believe Farm and Garden will be open. I don't think they're seen as an essential service. You may have to make your own food. Go on YouTube, and YouTube should be able to. The University of YouTube has all kind of alternatives. They may tell you how to make food for your animals. I'm sorry, it's Drew. Oh, how are you doing? Yes, I'm okay. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Ruthie Lovey, I just see the name. Hi, darling. Have a good day today, darling. When is the post office reopening? I got my pension check by mail every month. I have not received last month's check. Post office, I don't believe it will be opening anytime soon. Pension check may have to sit at the post office for some time. By law, it would lapse at 7, but a great possibility it can be reinstated. That is the 24-hour lockdown. I concur. Please read my WhatsApp. Good morning. I believe we as a people need to wake up and realize the world is a global village, so we have to get up to speed with times and what is happening globally. We cannot be uneducated. We have to be able to survive in global technology world. Lack of knowledge, the people will perish. Just adapt. Yep. All right, I'm seeing a message from my boss. Hold on, boss, I'm coming in now. Is the postal service open today? Not to my knowledge. I live in St. Patrick. I can go to sell out to my parish, which is St. David. What can I do? You can sell to your neighborhood. Just set up a little table right in your yard and people will be passing and seeing you with your products and most likely stop. We do that. Someone is a juror who got summoned the 16th of April. How will they get from St. Patrick? The courts are closed. For one, the courts are closed. So that summon, I'm assuming, was mailed before the lockdown took effect. So tell that person to stay tuned for further updates. I wish people would really pay attention to what's happening in the world. Coronavirus respects no one. My people, please pay attention. It respects not a soul. I've just received a note. I think that would be my last. I close off at 5 past. I just received a note that Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell will facilitate a live news conference from 6 p.m. today. He will discuss the current state of emergency. The press conference will be broadcast live on all GBN platforms, including its YouTube channel and Facebook page. So those of you who are inquiring, Prime Minister Dr. Mitchell will facilitate a live press conference from 6 p.m. So please take note, stick to GBN, and we will definitely carry the proceedings to ensure that our listeners and viewers are kept up to date. And that will be my time. I have stolen 5 minutes from Master Control. Timmy, I know you're watching me cross-eyed through the television. But I was trying to facilitate as many questions as possible. Blossom masks are being sold at Andel Supermarket in St. Paul's, I believe. A friend is making them. Oh, thank you very much. Yep. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Stick and stay to GBN Classic and Hot 98. Have yourselves a productive Monday. Those of you who are heading out, remember to walk with your masks, your shopping bags, your gloves if you have them. 25 minutes or less. The idea is to be in and out of the supermarket as soon as possible. You most likely would be spending hours in the line outside the supermarket. So during that time you're outside, plan your route, plan what you're going for, plan your budget so you'll be in and out of people place with the quickness. That's the theme today, with the quickness. Have yourselves a good day. Stick and stay right here to Classic. I'm going to play my my theme song for today that everybody should be listening to. Have yourselves a fantastic Monday. God bless. Be safe. We only have 12 confirmed cases as of which was announced by the minister, and let's keep it that way. Remember this song as you go to shop. Have a good one, everybody. Move it.